In the quietest corners of Seoul, under the hum of fluorescent lights, and behind the glass of worn-down cafes, a man once sat alone. His wallet was empty, his dreams covered in dust, and the only thing he had left was a story. Like, subscribe, share, and comment if this story moved you. This is not just the tale of Squid Game. This is the untold life of its creator, Hwang Dong-hyuk, a man who faced poverty, pain, and near madness before he changed television forever. Before the bright neon lights of Netflix fame, before red jumpsuits, glass bridges, or that hauntingly cheerful doll, there was a boy, quiet and watchful, growing up in the cramped alleys of Seoul. Hwang Dong-hyuk was born in 1971 in South Korea, a nation still healing from war. His family was poor, not poetically poor, but guttural, bone-deep poor. The kind of poor that makes you hide your hunger because your mother already skipped her meal for you. His earliest memories weren't of toys or laughter. They were of heavy sighs, of counting coins at the kitchen table, of overhearing whispers like rent, layoffs, how will we survive this month? The television, when it worked, became a portal, not for entertainment, but for escape. Hwang wasn't popular in school. He was small, bookish, and wore hand-me-down uniforms 2 sizes too big. While the other boys played soccer or fought over marbles, Hwang sat under stairwells with a tattered sketchbook. He drew comic strips. He made up his own heroes, warriors who overcame impossible odds, children who outsmarted cruel tyrants, and sometimes men who wore masks to hide the pain. There was one place that lit up his soul, the Manhwabang, Korea's version of a manga cafe. A cheap, stuffy place where people read comics for hours on end. For Hwang, it was heaven. There, among the smell of ramen, old cushions, and aging paper, he discovered Battle Royale, Kaiji, and Liar Game. Stories of desperation, survival, and twisted morality. They planted a seed in his mind. What if life itself was a game? What if the losers didn't just walk away, but vanished? The first loss. Just as that seed began to grow, tragedy struck. His father, the quiet backbone of their struggling family, passed away. Hwang was in his early 30s then, but the grief was sharp, cutting through him like glass. His mother wept softly at night, and his grandmother's trembling hands grew slower by the day. Responsibility wasn't something he inherited. It was thrown at him, like a grenade. Debt consumed them like a slow flood. Hwang stopped pursuing new projects. He borrowed money just to pay rent. At one point, he owed so much that banks refused to call him back. Even selling his own belongings wasn't enough. And then came the lowest point. He sold his laptop. The same device he had used to write scripts, chase dreams, email producers, and storyboard scenes, gone, sold for just $675. He felt like a ghost, wandering Seoul's streets with nothing but a stack of unpaid bills, shame clinging to his back like sweat. The script that no one wanted. But the idea, that one idea, never died, like a persistent whisper in a dark room, a brutal game, hundreds of desperate people, all drowning in debt. One winner walks away rich, the others eliminated. In 2009, he wrote the first draft of Squid Game. He called it Round 6. He poured every ounce of pain, frustration, and class resentment into it. The games were metaphors for how society treats the poor like pawns, for how desperation can dehumanize, for how people bet their lives every day in the invisible game of capitalism. But when he showed it to producers, they laughed, they hesitated. They said it was too violent, too bizarre, too unrelatable. They asked, who would ever watch this? For the next 10 years, that script sat in a dusty folder, unmade, unwanted, unloved. The escape. Other films. Hwang didn't quit, but he pivoted. He directed Silenced, 2011, a gut-wrenching film about sexual abuse in a Korean school for the hearing impaired, based on real events. The movie shocked the nation, leading to legal reforms and the closure of abusive institutions. Critics applauded. Audiences cried. But inside Hwang, something still ached. Silenced was a masterpiece, yes, but it wasn't Squid Game. He went on to create Miss Granny, 2014, a quirky comedy about an old woman who becomes young again. It was a commercial hit, lighthearted, funny, and clever. And yet, that other story still haunted him. The one that was rejected, the one that scared people, the one he believed in the most. In interviews, Hwang said, "It was a brutal time. I kept asking myself, why am I doing this? Maybe this story was just meant to die inside me." But fate wasn't done with him. The Netflix call. In 2019, Netflix began aggressively investing in Korean content. Their executives read the script for Round 6, now renamed Squid Game, and called him in. They didn't flinch at the violence. They didn't ask him to tone it down. They said, "Let's make it." Hwang was stunned. After 10 years, after losing teeth to stress, after living in manga cafes and selling his laptop to eat, someone finally believed